Good afternoon to from my beautiful island of the Caribbean seas. Welcome to another debate with regards to the admin fees and the policies that we're asking for to ensure our full-blown economy and not to ensure a few bounties in the pockets of a few. I addressed yesterday the surrogate that was sent out from the admin. And by the way, I will not pay much attention unless he answers those three questions. He must answer those three questions. If he wants to be on the same level with Mr. Abundance, where the admin is concerned, he has to answer those three questions. And the three questions are, do you know where the admin lives? And I'm not asking you to put them out in the open. Just text them to me. Do you know where the admin lives? Do you know the second tier, the program that the admin has to get us to full-blown economy? Do you know who suggested it? So once you can tell me answer those three questions, then you and I can begin to have a debate. Now, yesterday I was very much surprised when my leader out of Ghana identified the same surrogate of the admin who seems to be glorifying in his position, because these are behaviors of someone who have never managed anything, have no experience in management. And so he's just firing blindly. So those are the three questions that I want him to answer. Because when you say that you have been sent by the admin, you must know who is sending you. And so if you're not equipped with those type of information, it meant that you're just being used. And my brother, I will not allow you to be used. The West have been using us for too long because of our deprived poverty and lack situation. They know that our mentality, that we will do anything unimaginable for a little dangling, even a little position, because that's what they used to use amongst us. When the slaves came to the West, they used us against ourselves by giving us a little bit more money, by giving us a little bit more privilege, and then they use us to mistreat us. That's how they work. And that is what the admin is actually doing, my friend. And so the admin plan is to have, of which you say, 1 million billionaires. And all of those billionaires, he is now grooming and cloning to be broadcasters. Because the plan is, once he is being attacked, he will let go all the Rottweiler to defend him. Whether he's been attacked rightly or wrongly, it doesn't matter. And as you can see, he has now tested that system against Mr. Abundance. That is what he's doing. He is sending out his Rottweilers to decapitate Mr. Abundance's head, because his blog did not do it successfully, because he was being misled or misadvised. And so that is what we have to be mindful in TBC. And this is something that frightens me as I looked at what he and I, the admin, has discussed for hours. And I'm now seeing the planned, at least a preface of what is to come has been launched against Mr. Abundance. And I want us to be careful even as to what we're creating. Because when you have somebody who is arrogant and self-centered like the admin, with billions of dollars under management, and anyone has a different opinion, number one, you will be crushed by his army of elites, because that is what they call themselves, the elites in TBC. In other words, according to the surrogate, that they are cloned to speak as admin speak. If you don't, you will not get admin's attention. You will not be appearing on the blog if you do not have the mind and speak what admin expects them to speak. So is this another Hitler in making? Is this another Hitler that you are in a society and you must only be cloned to think like the creator of the society? And so no other ideas contend. Only one man's idea. And when you are being called out to even honor your own principles, you unleash with unfounded, may I add, unfounded information. Up to this day, I am saying to the admin, for your own name's sake, please redeem yourself. Because the society is still wondering if you are associated with that blog, Mr. Critic. And so we are saying to you, because every day you fail to address, every day you fail to bring the community one iota of lies or deception that you accuse the critic of, your credibility diminishes. You must bring one iota. You cannot say there's no truth in him. You cannot say he lies. You cannot say he's not trusted. He has no credibility. You cannot say these things without bringing to the community of which you are leading evidence to support your claim. Because if you can do it to Mr. Abundance with such influence in the community, you can do it to anyone else. You can do it to anyone else. And no one, no matter who they are, should be allowed to defame, to malign anyone in the society. Our article of association says, do no harm. That is our principle. Do no harm to each other, not even to the environment. Not even to the environment. And so how can we then trust somebody with so much billions under management, with his clone 1 million surrogates of billionaires in the world? It means that we are coming out of one elite system into the other, which has no democracy, because with that type of money under management, with 1 million billionaires let loose to do your bidding, we could see chaos in this world. We could have really chaos, because with those billions, we can control any country. We can build any missile. There's nothing that we cannot do with those billions. And with somebody like your temperament that is willing to bury even what you have built Because that is what you're actually doing every day. You are destroying the very thing that you built because you failed to put transparency in place. You failed to put credibility in place. And I want the broadcasters to ask you the question, if you die tomorrow, who picks up the Kringle Society the next day? If they think that the management structure in place is good, if they think that showing up to if they think that showing up to if they think that showing up to a Monday broadcast meeting to be cloned, as he said, the elites, I don't even want to think about it. It is not even a good picture. You know how many people pension have been invested in TBC? Do you know how many people can't sleep right now because of the boat that is rocking? Do you know how many uneasy people right now in the community? All because you have been challenged to be transparent and to stop move the goalpost arbitrarily. How can one man arbitrarily, and let me not, because I am producing evidence, and that's why you must produce evidence of your accusation against Mr. Abundance. You must do it in the community. Now you sent a discounter, a renowned discounter in Nigeria. You sent as your surrogate the same people that caused you to put the policy in place that every person with TBC must be accountable. And the two reasons, which one of them were massive discounters of TBC and the detriment to the society. And you now have one of the chief discounters coming out as your representative. Have you not checked their background? And if I am not mistaken, it is the same surrogate that wanted to partner with Mr. Abundance in Nigeria. If I am not mistaken, and I want Omichi Optimist, one of the surrogates for you, to confirm to Mr. Abundance, because once we began to do our due diligence with him, the same Augustine, if I am not mistaken, one of the things we asked him to do, show us your history of your transaction where your Kringles are concerned. He could not show us his back office. He could not. And so I just want Optimist to confirm, because I may be wrong. So I want Optimist to confirm if this is the same Augustine whose back office he could not reveal to Mr. Abundance, because as what Chipek has now confirmed, that he is one of the leading members in Nigeria who are discounting TBC, who the admin now is sent to be a mouthpiece and a laughing stock. Can you imagine a Nigerian who is not making 50 US a month? You are representing the majority of poverty-stricken people that this society has designed to help. And you are saying to your people in Nigeria and Michael in Ghana, you are both saying that they can pay the admin fees. And if they don't, as Embe says, that they are weaklings. These are people who came in with high hopes of financial freedom. And you are asking the very same people to squeeze out of their pension more than what they're even receiving. And you think that that policy will have us or help us with mass duplication. Who is fooling who? This is what I'm asking. Who is fooling who? Can this policy really get us to full-blown economy? This policy of $25 a month, you're asking people to pay to cement you. You're asking people to pay what? What are they paying for? What are the guarantees that admin, the TBC will even mature? What are your guarantees? And all those people that are paying you monthly for your Bitcoin reward, because that is all you guys are after. A little pittance in your wallet, in your pocket. You are willing to destroy the vision of TBC. Instead of the admin teach you guys about the vision of TBC and how to sell Kringles, so people can be really empowered to own TBC. Instead of that, he has now created network marketing out of you guys. And so this is what we're saying. We need management in TBC. TBC cannot keep going around in circle for the next 3.5 years. We will end up where we started. And all the coins who are now popping up to enter next year, if we don't get this, all right, good. Yes, we are still, the clock is still spinning. I went out a little while because my internet box died on me. My internet box, I forget that I am a wireless person, and so anywhere I go, I take my internet with me. All right, so let's now look at what we cannot continue to have in TBC. And so let me share my screen. We cannot continue. We cannot continue, else we will just spin and keep spinning. And so here is the admin, because I am, and I don't even want to go back to 2 years and all the promises that has been broken, all the bones that been dangled has collapsed. And so we're just repeating promises after promises with no accountability, with no management structure, and they think that is okay. It's not management. And so here is the latest one that shook up the community. Well, this wasn't the one that shook up the community, but this is the one that brings some hope to the community. And I just want you to listen. This is the promise by the admin. This what brought in so many people in TBC. Even persons sell their lands because of this announcement.
Guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time with the redemption that we have. I have this special announcement to make to you guys. Please, we have few days to go as far as redemption period is concerned. This is the period where with at least 80,000 francs, you can have 1 TBC in your wallets. Okay, and we have few days to go for this promotion to run to an end. Don't say that, or don't come after the promotion and you want to do the impossible. Okay, so make sure that you redeem your account now for all those who are about to redeem. Secondly, guys, November will be the last time you ever hear about redemption.
Really?
November to December, you will ever hear about redemption for the last time.
Really?
In the history of TBC. So this is the time for you to enjoy the distribution phase of TBC, because we enter January with a new phase of TBC, and that will be the economic phase where we shall be realizing project. Secondly, for all those that
I want to go back. I want to go back so that, you know, let's see who is fooling who. Let's see who is really fooling who and who is lying to who.
That you redeem your account now for all those who are about to redeem. Secondly, guys, November will be the last time you ever hear about redemption. November to December, you will ever hear about redemption for the last time in the history of TBC. So this is the time for you to enjoy the distribution phase of TBC, because we enter January with a new phase of TBC, and that will be the economic phase where we shall be realizing project. Second.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So let's hear what Mr. Mbederik is now saying. Let us be fair to him. Let him speak, because he's speaking as a chief spokesperson for admin. That which he spoke was the 19th of May. Let's hear what he's now saying.
Hello guys, I'm doing this short video to briefly announce to you, those of you in some WhatsApp groups that are arguing that this is going to be the last redemption. Guys, this is not going to be the last redemption, okay? Many of you are not close to the blog. Many of you are not reading the blog. Many of you are not up to date. This is not going to be the last redemption, okay? Because
did we not? Are we hearing right? I mean, are we hearing right? Did not Ember said in May that this is going to be the last redemption in the life of TBC? Period. There were no explanation as to why he said it. There were no explanation given that we need to reach a target. He said in the affirmative, this will be the last redemption period that we will ever experience. And then come January, we will begin to realize new projects. I want to repeat again because I want, oh dear me, let me see what I've done. I want us to get it right.
Hello guys, I'm doing this short video to briefly announce to you, those of you in some WhatsApp groups that are arguing that this is going to be the last redemption. Guys, this is not going to be the last redemption, okay? Many of you are not close to the blog. Many of you are not reading the blog. Many of you are not up to date. This is not going to be the last redemption, okay? Because the admin was projecting that this November we might have emptied the wallet and we can be the last redemption. But as it stands right now, we did not fulfill our objective of having good registration. So by so doing, admin is still going to have another redemption until when we empty the wallet. So we have to take advantage of the admin fee. We have to take advantage of the administrative credit that is being given to us and expand the community. A lot of contradiction going on, a lot of I'm seeing a lot of WhatsApp messages, especially in the 21st Century Leadership Group, which is the Mr. Abundance group. I'm sure Mr. Abundance is not really aware of some of the things that are going on right now. This is not going to be the last redemption. We shall have more redemption to come. But we might feel the billionaires stage this November, but it's not certain. It's not a certainty. It's just a projection. It can happen. But as far as redemption is concerned, we are going to have many redemption. If we fulfill the 1 billion status, the 1 billion, 1 million billionaires, if we fulfill that by this redemption, fine. If we don't do that, no problem. But this is not going to be the last redemption. It has been announced, and admin has said it again. Concerning TBC and transaction fee or whatever, it will never happen. So you guys should stop debating, going up and down. It's just debate anyway. You guys are free to debate, like admin said, it's free to debate. But please, we don't want a lot of confusion again in the community. Let us work hard. Let us unite, work together, and help the community to grow as much as possible.
Mbe is saying that he does not want a lot of confusion in the community. Who is creating the confusion in the community? Who is keep moving the goalposts in the community? I'm asking Mr. Mbe, who is doing it? Is it the Tibicians or is the mastermind behind TBC and himself? Who is doing it? Listen to you here, Mr. Mbe, just in case that you may be saying that somebody else is creating the confusion. So I want you to listen again and tell us who is really creating the confusion and the distraction in TBC.
All those that are listening to me right now, guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time with the redemption that we have. I have this special announcement to make to you guys. Please, we have few days to go as far as redemption period is concerned. This is the period where with at least 80,000 francs, you can have 1 TBC in your wallets. Okay, and we have few days to go for this promotion to run to an end. Don't say that or don't come after the promotion and you want to do the impossible. Okay, so make sure that you redeem your account now for all those who are about to redeem. Secondly, guys, November will be the last time you ever hear about redemption. November to December, you will ever hear about redemption for the last time in the history of TBC. So this is the time for you to enjoy the distribution phase of TBC, because we'll enter January with a new phase of TBC, and that will be the economic phase where we shall be realizing project. Secondly,
okay, so let me say no more. Let me say no more. And so, as I said, I am calling on the admin of the Kringle Society to demonstrate to the society the untruthfulness of Mr. Abundance. I want you, Mr. Admin, to bring out the evidence that are so many, as you said, are so many, but I can bring out At least I don't even have to go that far. I don't have to go that far to see how you're manipulating the society. I don't need to go that far. And this is what we're saying. We can no longer continue to have one man manipulating the entire community. It is not even management. It's not leadership. It's not leadership. This is what we're saying. And Ember Derrick is saying we may have many redemptions because the admin did not meet the target. What target? What target did not the admin reach? And why did we not reach those targets? Has the admin did a post-mortem? I can tell him why. Because 99% of the Tibitions wallets back office are inactive. And you cannot sponsor people if you are inactive. And so I am saying to the admin, loose the noose from around the neck of the Tibitions, the poor people to which you say you're helping. I am asking those broadcasters in Ghana and Nigeria to ask the admin, because you're now the privileged few, because you now have connections with the admin. And so I'm asking you to ask the admin to remove the noose from around the neck of the community so we can breathe. That's all I'm asking. And then we will have some growth, exponentially growth, because everybody's now free to breathe. And then we're asking, you don't need any monthly fees. Give us a yearly fee and bring the projects before the community so we can fund them in real time. How long is it going to take you to achieve the money for the blockchain? How long? 3, 4, 5 years? And then you disappear and says we didn't meet our target, just like what Ember did. Ember out of the blue. I was live when Ember put that 30 minutes together and drop it into the community of 3.4 million of us. How callous and irresponsible can that be? Do you know how many people he gave sleepless nights to? Do you know how many poor people couldn't sleep when that video was dropped that callously without any proper explanation? It was dropped in arrogance and chastisement. He was chastising the community for not listening to the blog, a blog that only have what the admin wants you to see, a blog that only is cloned by the admin, a blog that only controlled by the admin. He who controls the media controls the people. And I always says the media is the most dangerous thing on earth, because he who controls the media controls the mind of the people. And that is what they see, because that is what one of his surrogates says, that you will not see your piece on the blog unless it is cloned in the ideas of the admin. And he speaks as the admin. He speaks out of the mind of the admin. So he doesn't have a mind of his own to think. And these are the people that you're equipped with billions. So when the admin says shoot, they just shoot because they only can think with the minds of the admin. Do we really want this catastrophe? And I want all of us to think about it. Is that what we want in the disguise of creating abundance? Is it that what we really want? If the admin cannot be transparent, if the admin cannot even abide by his own principles, how can we trust him in full-blown economy? If you speak, he will take away your wallet. That's what we're seeing. He will take you out with the trash, as he's saying to Mr. Abundance, thank you for helping him take out the trash out of the community. Admin is now calling Tibishan trash because they're now asking for accountability in their affairs and proper governing structure in the affairs of TBC. Tomorrow I will continue, because obviously I want to stop here, since everybody must participate. Everyone must participate in this debate. It's not about Mr. Abundance. And so I will stop here. Yes, I will stop here so that I can allow everybody viewpoints to be heard. Leader, greetings. Glad to listen to you again. You're welcome. You're welcome. We are doing this for a cause, and Mr. Abundance is prepared to be the sacrificial lamb so that the community can be secured. Because as it is now, and somebody tomorrow pop off the admin, or he goes to bed and by natural causes doesn't wake up tomorrow, what will we do on Saturday morning? If the admin goes to sleep tonight, and I want the broadcasters to ask him that, if they think that, as Ember says, I am creating disruption in the community, if he goes to bed tonight, Thursday, and doesn't wake up tomorrow, Friday, what will the broadcasters tell the Tibishans? What will they tell the poor people that they're asking to pay $25 a month? I want them to explain to me. I want the surrogate to explain to me. What will you tell us in the community? The admin die and the community die with it? Is this what you call management? Is this what you guys are defending? Oh, dear me. It is a shame. It is a shame to the highest level. And so thank you, Pascal. You're welcome. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Good to have you once again tonight. You're making so much sense and logic. You're making so much sense and logic. Even the blind can see what Mr. Abundance is saying. This is not a show. This is not to, listen to me. I am not protecting, this is not protecting Mr. Abundance. This is not protecting TBC admin. We are protecting the Kringle Society and what it stands for. We, by agreeing to that private contract association, that number one, we will do no harm to each other, nor the environment. And that we will live by the principles therein. That's what we agreed to. And such principle is to put a proper governing body in place, not to bring a few people together and show them what you want and breed into them what they must breed out. And if they breed a different breath, you throw them out. You throw them out because it is a one-man show. I. Far as I know, being in conference with you for hours, you only invest $50 into TBC. $50. And all the rest of the funds came from the community admin. So who really pays the bill? So I want you to take out the I out of I this and I that. No, we paid the bills. Because that's what you told Mr. Abundance. You only invest $50 in a website. And this is why I am saying to your surrogates, do they know who the admin is? Do they know anything about TBC? and they said that they're in there from since 2016. I said, and I can say to all of them that meet on Monday, even his chief of staff, they don't even know half of what Mr. Abundant knows. They don't. Because when they go into conference, they don't question admin. They sit like a child to be taught, and they leave with their hands clasped, bowing out of his presence. They don't challenge the admin. And so they learn nothing than what the admin wants them to know. That's not Mr. Abundance. That is why I do what I do, because I know the mind of the admin. I know the mind of the admin. I am a meaningful specific. I am not a meaningful specific for nothing. And so I am begging the surrogates, get to know the admin before you can address Mr. Abundance. Because I told you guys that I am not responding at the level of the admin. Because had I done it, I said, had I responded to the admin as he did to Mr. Abundance, I said the conversation in TBC today would be different. Would have been tremendously different. And so let's move to the next level. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. I am with you. Good evening, Mac Roberts. We need to walk with our heads high, and we need to change the goalposts. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. God is your strength. It's all of us strength. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. I believe in you, South Africa. South Africa. South Africa. Thank you very much for your support. We have to stand for what we believe. Good evening, good leaders and great and humble leader, Mr. Abundance. We are all with you. May the Almighty bless and protect you and fulfill his purpose upon you. All South African members are with you. No, you can't tell the admin that. Please, he's listening. You cannot tell the admin that, because he tried to kill Mr. Abundance with his critic. He tried to kill Mr. Abundance. But the thing about it, Mr. Admin, you cannot kill the truth. You cannot kill integrity. You cannot kill principle. Those are things that are non-negotiable. And once you are principled, once you are truthful with us, nobody can go against you, the admin. Nobody can go against you. They will fall by their own sword. They will fall by their own sword. If you are truthful, if you are principled, none can go against you. And so whatever your surrogates will throw at Mr. Abundance, let them first defend that critic blog. They must defend it. They must come to the public and itemize the grievances that I have caused them and you, the admin, number one. They must come and tell the Kringle Society the untruthfulness and the things that I have been twisting in TBC. They must come to the Kringle Society and they must tell us in video, in audios, in text, what Mr. Abundance are doing in the community. They must tell us why you must now have Mr. Abundance as a suspect when transacting Kringles. They must tell the community why I cannot be trusted as a trusted and bona fide member in the Kringle Society. They must refute everything. They must substantiate everything that you mention in the critique. And if they can't do it, I asking you and beg of you that you keep the little credibility that you now have. Save the little credibility and apologize. And apologize. Because all of us make mistakes, Mr. Admin. And every day you allow that critic to be on the blog, it can only expose who we're really dealing with. I just showed the entire Kringle Society what we're talking about, why we cannot continue the way we're doing. One announcement in the 19th of May. This is our first redemption. Another came a week ago and said there will be many more redemption. Can we in the society keep on breaking our promises and maintain integrity among other people? It will never happen. No one continue to break their promises and maintain integrity. No one continue to break their promises and maintain integrity, admin. And so this is what I'm talking about. It's not about making a few Bitcoin bounty, because if I want to make Bitcoin bounties, as you said, no one has my level of expertise and oratory and intelligence and influence. You said it. You said no one has that capability among the broadcasters. And so now, let me round up this very quickly. So we only have 15 minutes. Good evening, Mr. Okay, I think I did that already. Good evening, sir, Mr. Abundance. We need you in Ghana, please. Why do I need to come in Ghana when I have no influence? The admin said I have lost 70% of my influence, and I am claiming to have influence and authority of which I do not have one iota over the community. That's what he says. And this is why I am saying to his surrogates, can you substantiate the critic blog? And if you cannot substantiate it at this level of our development, how can we trust anything that the admin will tell us after this? I say to the admin, the longer he keeps the critic blog on his platform, is the more damage he will do to his own credibility. And we don't want a damaged leader leading 3.4 million people. No, we want somebody with integrity, somebody that we can count on. Because if we are the soldier and we are the soldiers, and we are the soldiers, you are the captain, we must have confidence in the captain. So when the captain said march, we march. But if the captain doesn't have any integrity, if the captain cannot substantiate his claim among a fellow soldier, then it leaves much to be desired. Much to be desired. Mr. Abundance Goodwin from Nigeria. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. God bless your good work. We are behind you. Oh Lord, don't say Nigeria is behind me. You cannot say Nigeria is behind me. You can't say Ghana is behind me. You cannot say South Africa is behind me. Namibia said yesterday that they're behind Mr. Abundance. Belize said that they're with Mr. Abundance. The Caribbean say that they are with Mr. Abundance. Don't forget, the admin says that I have lost credibility and I have committed suicide by myself without any help from the community. Remember, that's what he says. I have already committed suicide. Oh, the admin. You are forgiven. Mr. Abundance has publicly forgiven you, sir. because you have not done, Mr. Abundance, anything than to elevate Mr. Abundance to a level that he wasn't in the society. You have elevated Mr. Abundance to a level by your own accord. You have done it with no help from no one. You have done it. You have elevated Mr. Abundance to a level in TBC that if I ask everyone not to pay their back office come November, we all shut down TBC once and for all. But I am giving you time. I am giving you time so you can do the right thing, because all of us want TBC to stand. All of us want TBC to stand, but we must be treated, as you say, with love and respect. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Thank you so much for your good work. May the Lord keep you and safe and increase you in grace. Thank you very much, Teresa. Mr. Ember Derrick can see that you are a typical liar. Oh my goodness. And you have been blinding the community with liars and propaganda. Mr. Ember Derrick, I can see that you are a typical liar. Now, it's not Mr. Abundance is saying it. And I have announced and only repeat, I didn't even say it. I played the video record of him, both records, one in his announcement to all of us, and second to tell us that we don't know what we're saying. That is what he's saying. We don't have a clue what we're saying, because there will be many, many more redemptions when he told all of us it's going to be the last in the life of TBC. And then we move into blown economy. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. And so I have produced. That is why my credibility shall not fail me in TBC, because I produced evidence to support my position in TBC community. I'm asking you, Ember Derrick, to produce the blog that which you claim that admin has addressed is going to be more than one redemption. I am still asking for that blog because you said Mr. Abundance don't stick with the blog. I'm asking the surrogate as well to produce it, and then he can speak with Mr. Abundance. All right, now the truth is coming out gradually. You people have been manipulating the entire community. It's not me saying it, oh, it's by your own doing. I said to you, the admin, yesterday, as I was doing yesterday's broadcast, I made mention of Mordecai and Naaman. Naaman prepared a gallows to bury Mordecai once and for all, and he himself was being buried. Take note, nothing that will happen has not happened before. There is nothing new under the sun. And so what was meant to disgrace Mr. Abundance, to bury Mr. Abundance, what was portrayed in that critic blog to shape the mind of the people that I cannot be trusted and that I am a liar. All the negative, it's now turning back on you and your surrogates. It is a burning shame that the stick is now beating the one whose hands it left from. Mr. Abundance, do not relent until the battle is won. No, I will not relent. You cannot negotiate and dilute truth. Truth need no defense. And that is why Mr. Abundance will always be relevant, because I stand by the truth in the community and I do the principal thing. You have the support of Ghanaians, of Ghanaians and Nigerians and the rest of the poor of Africa. No, please don't say that to the surrogates. Don't say that to the admin either. But I still beg Mr. Admin to listen and consider. And I also beg admin to try as much as he can as a leader to bring everyone together in love and one voice. That is all Mr. Abundance desire. Nigerians are behind of you, Mr. Abundance. Man, if it was coming from one person, I would have said, maybe you guys would have said, you know, Mr. Abundance, pay these people. But coming from so many different people, I told you that what was meant to bury Mr. Abundance has resurrected Mr. Abundance to a level and influence in TBC that I did not have before. And so instead of 70% in the negative, I can now say it is 70% in the positive. And so admin, by your own pen, you have done it all by yourself, as you say. You have elevated Mr. Abundance all by yourself, by 70% in the community. How are you going to deal with that 70% of increased influence? I ask you now, how will you deal with 70% more influence in the community? I don't understand why Mr. Abundance is giving out money for free and requesting for, the admin, sorry. I don't understand why the admin is giving out money for free and requesting donation. I am saying to the community of Tibetians, no one should donate anything unless we have accountability and transparency. We need to know, what are we donating to? Is it too hard for the admin to put accountability in place? Don't tell me that the elites who meet on Monday, you just open up your back office and show them any figures. That's not accountability. Anybody can do it. Is that accountability? Have you really seen any figures? Do you know how that system works? I saw that system works in real time. You don't even know 90% of what that system can do. But I know because I spend meaningful time with the admin. That is why I say, if I responded as equal to the admin, today we would be having a different debate altogether. But Mr. Abundance decided to remain principled and to do the honorable thing. I don't okay. All right, let's move on quickly, please. No more comments. After this, I will go to the bottom so I could cut off the comments, and I'm very sorry. I know people that sold their cars, lands, properties to get a TBC. I personally sold out my laptop to be a Tibetians. Now here we have it, Mr. Admin. Mr. Abundance is not here to bring TBC to the ground. No, that would be very unfortunate of me. A meaningful specific with hundreds of TBC, it would be very foolish of Mr. Abundance to want to see the back of you, the admin and TBC. Oh no, I am here to give you what you lack, which is management. You are a recruiter. You're very good at recruiting. You understand the psychology of people. You know what button to press. You know the words that will move people to spend their monies. You know how to build a team, and I give you kudos because that is your element. But when it comes to management, that is where Mr. Abundance can be of enormous use for you, the admin. When it comes to management and leadership, and to bring everybody on board with you, because if you want to go fast, like the Bitcoin bounty contesters, if you want to go fast, you go it alone. But if you want to go far, take all of us with you. All right. Okay, no, I did say I was going to the bottom. And so let me stick with my word. I am now going to the bottom. So I will go to the top. So this is the last one. From Lagos, Nigeria. This is Reverend Gideon Anikemi. Salute you, Mr. Abundance. This is the battle of the truth. Nothing but the truth. And our victory is assured. I just want to thank the good Reverend out of Nigeria, because wherever you have a church, you have an audience. And wherever you are a leader in a church, your integrity, your name must mean something. When you tell your audience that this November is our last redemption, they can sell their land, they can sell their cars, they can sell their laptop, because the chief of staff, the chief mouth person for the admin says, after November, we are going into full-blown economic, experiencing different projects. When you have the admin saying that, as a leader with a flock, you must be able to maintain integrity. And that is what we're asking for in TBC, that we stop, move the goalpost. And if the goalpost is being moved, why is it being moved? And what do we need to fix it? And not repeating the same thing every week and expect it to be fixed by itself. Mr. Admin, what will you do with Mr. Abundance 70% more influence that you have given him? I said to you, sir, I am willing to come together as we have always done for the betterment of this Kringle Society. And so I'm saying to you, you have heard what we are saying. And I'm saying to you, Mr. Admin, those broadcasters do not have or possess the management skills, nor do they possess the ability to be objective and to be fair in your presence, because they believe that they need to suck up to you and they need to say yes to everything that you said to them. And so you will not get an objective viewpoint coming from them. None of them will do it because they're not that principled. They prefer to smear their consciences rather than to tell you, Mr. Admin, no, this is not the way. No, they will not tell you that because they are afraid that you will do them as you have done with Mr. Abundance. But may I say to the admin, you have chosen the right person to do it too, because it will be the last one. And it will only bring the community better. This is what you call leadership. This is what you call principle. You cannot bury principle position. You cannot bury the truth. It will rise even stronger. It will rise even stronger. And every deception, as the truth rises, it will expose all the deceptions. It will expose all the deceptions as truth rises. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for, Mr. Admin. Mr. Abundance, you're counting on God and you take us to the promised land. Mr. Abundance, we are counting on God and you to take us to the promised land. Where is the admin in all this? The admin must feature. At least he's the brainchild behind of this. All what I'm saying to the admin, you need all of us, not some of us. You cannot rule by dictatorship style and get the best out of your community. Dictators have never gotten the best out of their people, and you will not get the best if you continue. From Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, I think I did that already. I should be going up. Okay, so I should be going up. All right, quickly. I think I am getting there because I start from the bottom. Mr. Abundance, if you were the admin, TBC would have taken a better shape and we all would have been happy right now. Mr. Abundance, if you were the admin, TBC would have taken a better shape and we all would have been happy right now. May I say that there's wisdom in what you're saying. There's credibility in what you're saying. Mr. Abundance is not a yes man. Ideas must contend, whether in private or in public. It doesn't matter where it is being said. Once it is the truth, it should be respected. It doesn't matter where truth is being said, in private or in public. It must be respected. Mr. Abundance, listen to us for God's sake, because the voice of the man is the voice of God, and the truth always the truth, no matter how bitter it is. Oh, Mr. Admin must listen to us for God's sake, because the voice of man is the voice of God, and truth is always truth, no matter how bitter it is. Teresa, congratulations, Ace Fletcher, for becoming a heavy hitter for the 4th time in a row. If 1 million are like Ace, we will bet 1 billion in your current 30 November dateline. Now, this is what the admin believes, that if one person can do it, everybody can do it. And so the argument for the Bitcoin bounty to cease and the $25 to be removed from the necks of the people will not happen because of becoming heavy hitter and Bitcoin bounty contest and Bitcoin contest and Bitcoin bounty rewards. And so the whole community must suffer because of one program that have a few persons who will not give up receiving bounties from the very poor that they ask to be relieved. Mr. Abundance, you are the hope of the Kringle Society. Honesty is the best policy. So please keep the fire burning till victory is ours. Thank you very much. Admin could put all this to rest by doing the expected of him by the article of association. So why wouldn't he? I thought a leader is supposed to unite the community and not foster division. It speaks for itself. Mr. Abundance, God's hands are upon you. Thank you very much, Chibek. Mr. Abundance, you have been opening our eyes to see something which has happened to us in TBC. Mr. Abundance, you have been opening our eyes to something which has happened to us in this TBC. Mr. Abundance, you are God sent. What country is the admin from? Well, I am asking, it's not where he's from. I am asking his surrogate. Because when you are an ambassador of a country, you better know your president and your president policies. And so I have asked him to tell Mr. Abundance to answer 3 questions. And once he can answer them, then Mr. Abundance will engage the surrogate that was sent out. If he cannot do it, he will not have my attention. He can only respond to what I am saying. But Mr. Abundance cannot give him the light of day, because he would not even worth the salt. He would not even worth the salt, because he would have proven to Mr. Abundance that you are still an outsider in the circle where the admin is concerned. Answer those 3 questions, and then you will convince Mr. Abundance that you really sit in that small circle. TBC admin need to constitute the management board in place before November redemption. What we have right now is Mr. Abundance. We poor Tibicians, we are seeking for help from the admin to come to our rescue. We have invested all we have. What we have right now is you, Mr. Abundance. We poor Tibicians, we are seeking for help from the admin to come to our rescue. We have invested all that we have. That is why Mr. Abundance is here, trying to protect what you would have invested. And we do not really use the word investment, but what you have been called to share in, because we share in this abundance-based coin. And so I just want to thank all of you once again, because I have come to the end, as I said, by starting at the bottom. Because if I don't do that, this broadcast could go on forever. So I have to develop a strategy to cut it. And so I thank you again, all of you, for loving the vision of TBC. All of you who wants to see this Kringle Society succeed. All of you who have put your name, and all the pastors in the bishop, and all the pastors, reverends, and bishop who are in this community. We all love this community, and we all must do the needful to ensure that we all go ashore safely. And where we see there are weakness and somebody has the skill to add strength, we should accept the person's skills and ability, because no man is an island and no one knows it all. We are not omnipresent, nor omniscient, nor omnipresent. We are not. We don't know it all. And so Mr. Abundance is saying, thanks again. Tomorrow I will be back as we continue to put this to rest. Tomorrow is Friday, and so I will bring this to a climax tomorrow and allow the admin to reflect on what he has done. We must give the admin time to reflect on all that we have suggested. We have to give the admin time to realize that he can no longer manage people like he has been doing. We must give the admin time for him to reconsider the policies that are now creating harm, and those surrogates that he's using even to create more harm among their own community. Because if this fail, the people will be going for them. I said, if this fail, those broadcasters who are in Ghana and Nigeria, Cameroon, in South Africa, if this fail, they will have no hiding place. And so it will not be a pretty picture. I can assure them. Thank you very much. Nothing happens until something moves. As I said this morning, that it is when the water is stirred, healing takes place. Even at the pool of Bethesda, a pool that's supposed to be calm, when that pool is stirred, healing takes place. I said the water in TBC has been stirred, and only healing and what is right can come out of it. So those of you who are fainting, don't faint. The best of the admin shall rise to the top. The best of Mr. Abundance is still yet to come. Enjoy your day. TBC must live on.